Reggae is Jamaica's gift to the world, but the wave didn't stop at the shoreline. From Hawaiʻi harmonies to California dub labs to East Coast future roots, American artists built their own chapter, respecting the foundation, adding a new accent. Tonight we count down 10 essential American reggae artists, one must-hear track each, what to listen for in the bass and drums, and how they carried the message without losing the groove. If your playlist ends at Bob, Peter, and Bunny, you're missing half the map. These bands turned US venues into sound systems and pushed the music onto festival main stages. Cali roots anthems, Hawaii four-part harmonies, New York crossover fireworks, and dubwise studio scientists, tribal seeds to SOJA, with heavy stops in between. This is hip-hop lore. Subscribe, hit the bell, and let's drop the needle on top 10 American reggae artists. Watch to the end and drop your pick. Pull on one essential track. I'll pin the best for part 2. Tribal seeds sound like they built their catalog around a single promise. Keep the one steady, keep the message clear. The Jacobo Brothers arrangements are heavy without hurry. Sub-bass you feel before you hear, skank guitar that sits where it should, never overplaying the offbeat, and keys that favor the meditative bubble more than spotlight chords. The drums often live in a one-drop feel that leaves the snares backbeat for strategic emphasis. When the band switches into a stepper's push, it feels like a decision, not a reflex. Downbeat is a study in restraint. The bass sits low and centered, anchoring the vocals' long lines while the keys sketch atmosphere in short, heartbeat figures. Listen to the dub language in the mix. Delay throws on snare tails, quick mutes on the guitar upstrokes, echo trails that step forward after a lyric lands, small moves that make the track breathe like a live engineer riding faders. The Garden widens the frame with brighter chords and a more lilting bass figure, but the philosophy stays put. Serenity with weight. Lyrically, the band leans conscious without slogans. The hook invites a crowd in without diluting meaning. That balance, festival ready, dub disciplined, explains why their grooves translate equally well to headphones and 100-foot PA systems.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. But check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C-Trends family together. Your support is everything.
Slightly Stoopid came up on the Southern California coastline, where reggae rubs shoulders with punk, ska, soul, and jam band improvisation. Their trick is making blends sound like identity, not compromise. Closer to the Sun places a relaxed, bouncy bass line under a sweet, half-whispered vocal. The drums keep a laid-back pocket with just enough ghost note chatter to keep the verses buoyant. Guitars favor unforced skank on the 2 and 4, then peel off into melodic figures that feel more R&B than rock. The arrangement is anti-grandstanding. Verses are conversational, choruses bloom by opening space rather than piling on parts, and the bridge bends toward a pocket you could stretch on stage for minutes if the crowd is with you. That's the live culture piece. Stoopid learned to read audiences like DJs, expanding or contracting sections without breaking the song's spine. On record, the secret is dynamics, playing softer to make the groove feel bigger, letting bass and kick agree on length so the low end thumps without smearing. If tribal seeds project calm through discipline, Slightly Stoopid projects it through ease, sunlit, unhurried, and perfectly content to let a simple refrain do the heavy lifting.
I'm trying to take you out, the ticking of her heart is the only
Iration is where island warmth meets California studio polish. The guitars are glass clean, chorused upstrokes that leave air around the transient, while the bass feels like a padded wall, thick even, and carefully side-chained to the kick so the groove hits without flab. Vocals usually sit just ahead of the beat, a pop sensibility that keeps hooks sticky even when the rhythm section behaves like classic roots.
Living for the moment. She's a
Time Bomb is a masterclass in arrangement clarity. The verse is a skeleton, kick, snare, skank, bubble, and a bass figure so centered that the vocal can float without losing gravity.
all over the crowd. She's living for the moment.
Pre-chorus adds harmonic lift with passing chords and stacked backing vocals. The chorus lands not through volume, but density control. A second guitar doubling the skank in a higher register, synth pad soft under the melody, and the bass taking slightly longer note lengths so every chord feels taller.
Detonate. You try to cut the wires, but you're way too late. She's a time bomb.
Production is polished but not sterile. Tiny delays, subtle reverbs, and tasteful stereo width give the track radio shine, while the one-drop logic stays intact. It's feel-good reggae that still knocks on a big rig, proof that popcraft and dub physics can be friends.
Love you, girl. Kissing her make you my world.
The green signature is voice, not just lead voice, but four-part harmony that moves like one instrument. From Honolulu's scene, they pull lovers' rock sweetness through sturdy live band roots arrangements. Drum and bass keep a round, rolling pocket. Guitars skank politely in the mid-range. Keys split duty between bubble and organ swells. Horns, when present, glue the chorus to the roofline.
Love you, girl. Kissing her make you my world.
Over it, the vocals braid and blend, resolving tensions in ways that make the harmony itself feel like percussion. Love I is built for shoulders-to-shoulders rooms. The verse leaves space for the singer's phrasing and draws you inward with tight harmony tags at the ends of lines. Pre-chorus leans on a suspension and release pattern. Listen to how the bass hints at the coming root a half beat early, while the vocals hold a color tone over the bar line.
You know I will. I'ma show you, girl, how I bring.
When the chorus hits, the chord is the same, but the weight shifts. Harmonies open until the song feels sunlit. The Green Honor classic rhythms without cosplay. Their arrangements sound like now because the emotion is modern, even when the building blocks are as old as Studio One. Where much American reggae seeks serenity, King Without a Crown, live, thrives on voltage, rap cadence verses, devotional refrains, and a band that treats dynamics as a storytelling tool. The rhythm section starts lean, a kick on one feel with crisp cross stick and a bass line that walks more than it drones. Guitar skank is punctual, keys sketch dub echoes that blossom after phrases, leaving room for the vocal to testify.
Down on one knee, I fight with all my might and get these demons to flee. Hashem's rains, fire blaze, burn bright.
Then the song toggles gears, double-time hi-hat chatter, drum fills that lift like a wave, rhythmic beatbox textures appearing and vanishing as another instrument in the dub.
You, yes, I'm so hungry. You're like water for my soul when it gets thirsty. Without you, there's no me.
The live mix is the message. You can hear the crowd become part of the arrangement. Choruses shouted back, dropouts engineered to let silence act like a drum. The lyric's spiritual urgency finds its corollary in arrangement choices. Every dynamic peak feels earned because the valleys are generous.
You're all that I have and you're all that I need. Each and every day I pray to get to know you. Please wanna be close.
Matisyahu's phrasing, more hip-hop than crooner, cuts through the band's bloom without clipping the groove. When he stretches a syllable across a bar lean, the bass holds its ground so the melody can reach. This is crossover in the healthiest sense, not a dilution, but a widening, showing how reggae's pulse can carry testimony, rap timing, and rock energy in a single frame. This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves. Open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop Allure, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert! If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live. Future Roots wasn't just a slogan, it was a production ethic. John Brown's body took classic one-drop logic and re-engineered the chassis. Horn lines voiced like a small orchestra, baritone sax anchoring the mid-range while trumpet and tenor speak in counterpoint. Guitars that skank less like a metronome and more like punctuation. Keys that trade the standard bubble for chord colors and tapey swells. And a rhythm section that treats the kick as narrative, not just pulse. On Step Inside, the mix is the arrangement. The horns don't merely double the melody, they frame it, answering vocal phrases the way doo-wop groups once did. Only here with trombone fall-offs and tight 3-part voicings. Listen for the dub as architecture choices. A snare hit sent into a quarter-note delay to create a call and response with the room. A guitar upstroke momentarily muted to open a window for a horn stab. A single vocal word dropped into echo so the lyric keeps walking after the singer stops. The bass's job is surgical, long notes that tie sections together, then short percussive figures to flip a verse into a pre-chorus without needing more volume. Lyrically, JBB widened the lane, urban imagism and social observation alongside spiritual language that avoids platitude. That expansion feeds the musical one. Bridges that resolve into horn codas instead of guitar solos. Breakdowns where tape hiss and spring reverb become instruments. The road chops matter too. This material was built to scale from club systems to festival arrays. When the FOH engineer rides the oak sends like faders on a mixing board in Kingston, the songs breathe, proof that Future Roots is as much about live ergonomics as studio cleverness. Scott Woodruff's studio is less room than ecosystem. Drum programming locked to human time imperfections. Guitars tracked with the kind of cleanliness that makes every offbeat read as a page turn. Sub-bass mixed to feel like a floor you can stand on. World on Fire is the thesis. Hypnotic ostinatos, vocal hooks that sit exactly in the pocket, and a stereo image so panoramic you can point to the space each instrument occupies. What makes it modern isn't just sheen, it's the way microdynamics do the heavy lifting. The bass lengthens its note tails by a fraction in the chorus, so the harmony feels taller without adding parts. The drums are disciplined in the verse. Kick feathers the one, snare ghosts fill the negative space, and then shift into a stepper's carriage in the lift, nudging the tempo of your attention, even though the BPM hasn't moved. Keys bubble with the restraint of a metronome, but every eighth bar, a delay throw widens the room and resets your ears. Stick Figure's melodic writing knows where the voice sits best. Limited range, syllables that lock to the hi-hat grid, cadences that land with the kick, so even soft singing feels substantive. The band on stage extends the record's ergonomics outward, percussion coloring the back half of bars, guitar partials bright enough to cut on outdoor stages, and arrangements designed to let the crowd become the pad under a chorus. It's US roots at its most dialed in, dub physics, popcraft, and groove confidence coexisting without tug of war. Groundation approach roots like jazz anthropologists who fell in love with dub. The drums sit inside the one drop, but the fills think in phrases. The bass is a mantra, but it's voiced like a horn, slides into chord tones, ghosted pickups, rests that mean something. Keys do double duty, bubble for time, organ for testimony. Around that spine, guitars comp like a rhythm section 1 minute and quote like soloists the next. The band can extend a vamp for 4 minutes without monotony because counterpoint never switches off. Babylon Rule Dem shows the method. Odd bar phrasing sneaks into intros and turnarounds. Horn lines arrive not as frosting but as arguments, sometimes harmonizing, sometimes debating the vocal line. The dub is vintage in color, spring reverb, tape delay, but modern in application. Instruments step forward and back like actors in a play, with mutes and sends time to the lyric's emotional line. Improvisation appears, then disappears without calling attention to itself. You realize a guitar has been soloing only when it hands the melody back and nothing has broken. Groundation's accomplishment is a balance problem solved. How to improvise without diluting the one drop, and how to honor vintage palette without cosplay. The result is a living music, elastic enough to stretch on stage, disciplined enough to snap back to the chorus. Little wonder they read as a landmark. They demonstrate that American reggae can be scholar and dancer, arranger and seer in the same breath.
I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. You check it one time, baby, over.
Rebelution arrived with a simple proposition. Make choruses large without making mixes loud. Safe and Sound is a masterclass in that math. Rhythm guitar is crisp and slightly behind the beat, I La Vista muscle memory, so the groove leans back even while the drums punch forward.
I'm caught up in the thing that you know I like. You check it one time.
Rebelution arrived with a simple proposition. Make choruses large without making mixes loud. Safe and Sound is a masterclass in that math. Rhythm guitar is crisp and slightly behind the beat, I La Vista muscle memory, so the groove leans back even while the drums punch forward.
Letting free. Well, I'm all about a sweet sound and love and spree. Hey, come on now and listen.
Horns are buoyant, voiced in thirds and sixths, with unison doubles for emphasis. They don't crowd the vocal, they lift it, often entering on the and to turn backbeats into trampolines.
We could make a grand escape. We can roll high, baby, break. Well, all about.
The bass operates like an urban planner. It decides where traffic flows. In the verses, it's conservative, roots and fifths, short note lengths, leaving space for lyric and snare. In the pre-chorus, it adds anticipations, hinting at the chorus root a half beat early, so your ear already wants what's coming.
We could make a grand escape. We can roll high by the way, yeah, yeah, yeah.
When the hook hits, the part lengthens, the low end blooms, making the harmony feel three-dimensional without adding a single new instrument. Meanwhile, the drums switch from side stick nuance to a fuller snare crack. It reads as excitement, not volume.
Free. Well, I'm all about a sweet sound and love and spree. Hey, come on now and listen.
Rebelution's other edge is consistency. The road taught them restraint, arrangements built to translate from dorm rooms to amphitheaters, set lists that respect pacing, and a singer whose lines are shaped for breath as much as rhyme.
Baby, that's all I've got.
They helped define the 2000s, 2010s wave by institutionalizing a feeling. Clean, positive, crowd-sized, but never cloying. Safe and Sound is exactly that promise. Security as groove, optimism you can dance to.
All right, C-Trends fam, let's keep it real. We're pouring our hearts into bringing you the best celebrity news and music deep dives. What? Check it. A massive 98% of you aren't subscribed yet. Subscribing is how you can truly support us, helping us grow and create even better content. If you're vibing with what we do, take a sec to hit that subscribe button. It's free and makes a huge difference. Plus, ring that notification bell so you never miss out. Let's flip that 98% and build this C Trends family together. Your support is everything.
This time, you and me are still the only.
SOJA write in the language of scale, big harmonies, patient verses, and arrangements that discover height by discovering space. You and Me is their quietly audacious move, a duet built like a roots hymn, where the bass keeps its counsel low and the drums lay a bed the voice can float above.
Even when you, so I started, and you started.
The guitar skank is modest, almost metronomic. The keys paint soft halos around sustained notes. When the chorus arrives, the lift comes from voices, layered thirds and fifths, rather than a stack of new parts. The production is modern in the best way. Compression used to shape sustain, not flatten dynamics. Reverbs tuned dark, so vocals read intimate even in a wide image. Sub-content kept disciplined, so the song still translates on small speakers.
I want it knowing that you're walking away. I started.
Lyrically, SOJA's hallmark is earnest clarity. Love songs and social songs written in declarative sentences, where the point is to be understood, not admired. That translates to the bass, too. Long tones as argument, little climbing pickups only where emotion demands them, never because a bar feels empty.
Well, since I'm time girl, and I'm still.
Their larger arc, DC Virginia beginnings to world stages, matters because it explains the choices. Choruses designed to be sung by people who just met, grooves that give the back row the same confidence as the barricade.
Time girl, and I'm still with you, even when
You and Me is anthemic without puffing itself up. It trusts that if the message is honest and the pocket is right, the room will do the rest. That's the lesson at the summit of American Reggae's ladder. Build community in the mix, and the song becomes a place people return to.
you, even when you're gone. When this
If you enjoyed this episode, then go watch this video.